Okay, challenges faced by a woman in modern society. I would like to speak about a recent event that took place in my home country, Poland. When I first learned about some massive protests against plant regulation change, I thought it could make an interesting topic for presentation. I find this particularly important as these days many issues are around gender equality. One of the goals set for sustainable future for all mankind is about eradicating all kinds of inequalities, gender included. On the 3rd of October 2016, tens of thousands of people left working classes to protest against the proposed changes to law, which if enacted would impose a blanket ban on abortion, including in instances of pregnancy as a result of rape or incest. About 30,000 people, many dressed in black, gathered in wretched weather in Warsaw Castle Square, chanting, "We want doctors, not missionaries," and carrying placards bearing messages such as "My uterus, my opinion," and "Women just want to have fundamental rights." There is no free contraception and regulations are being made to make it more and more difficult. Abortion is illegal, but on the other hand, there is no assistance to mothers with children, both ill and healthy, provided. Sometimes politicians, even when trying to work for a good cause, don't have proper insight into women's situation. Therefore, they came up with legislations based on their subjective perspective of religion or other dogma they find right. It results in gender inequality. Feminine part of the society is then deprived of the basics to right to decide about themselves. Summing up, my knowledge question goes as follows. To what extent is faith used to justify inequality in society? Regarding the black protest as a real-life situation, I have been considering to run my presentation around the issue. My knowledge question, to what extent is faith used to justify inequality in society? By this I could cover ethics. So is it ethical that feminine part of the society is being forced to follow unfavorable regulations as area of knowledge, and faith as way of knowledge, as driver for decision that should be made objectively? There are a lot of other stereotypes in the society. Moreover, women are not united with each other. Some of them are so deeply rooted in the patriarchal culture that they do not consider changes. On the other hand, more and more men are becoming aware of the issue. Therefore, attitudes are swifting towards more equal partnerships. It's becoming more vivid while we're taking care of children and sharing other domestic chores. However, these changes are not going fast. In order to start proper family planning, quite a few obstacles must be overcome. That results in women being dependent and indecisive about their own life choices. As mentioned, you need to make an appointment with a doctor in order to get a prescription for hormonal contraception. What is more, even when already during doctor's appointment, it is not necessarily true that the visit would be successful. In some parts of the world, like Ireland, Mexico, or the Philippines, there is something called conscience clause, which enables doctors and pharmacies to decline a request for contraception due to their religious beliefs. That results in many unwanted pregnancies and mental issues like depression. In the worst-case scenarios, women deprived of contraception access while experiencing unwanted pregnancies join a phenomenon called abortion tourism. They simply go to a different country where the law around family planning is not so strict and have abortions done there. Nevertheless, there are still people out there who are born for the jobs, like noble and protective police officers and caring doctors. Even surrounded by unfavorable legislation, encountering with such positive characters enables a woman to regain trust in people and the world around. Most people in Polish government who make the decision are Catholic men. That means that sometimes the decisions made are not 100% objective. especially those ones around family planning. The decision-making process is then made on the basis of faith and dogmas which influence the whole society. Sometimes politicians do not follow the reason and any other ways of knowing. They are fixed in their beliefs that drives the decision-making in the society. There is a small fraction of females that are active in the government. However, it does not mean that women are silent. They are working together to bring a public eye onto the issue. There are plenty of NGOs, non-governmental organizations, working on improvement of women's rights. Yet there is a lot to be done still in this area. As shown before, I would like to highlight the importance of ways of making legitimate decisions that involve the whole society while being driven by subjective beliefs. It is very difficult to meet the demands of a wide spectrum of people, but a common well-being and democratic values of equality should always be considered. The European Convention on Human Rights aims for protection of fundamental freedoms and to achieve a greater international recognition of equal rights of men and women and to incorporate the values of civil liberty. One of the points treats about the right to respect for private and family life. Therefore, the event that occurred last year in Poland was a response to the injustice. Such a great gathering of people from all sectors and society layers have shown the solidarity and awareness. As people are being more educated, their perspective is beginning to change. There is also a lot to be done here while bringing the children up, so they do not copy bad patterns of behaviors. What is more, this situation of people getting together and fighting for common good proves that society is aware of the issue. There are many to support women on their journey towards equality. Of course, there are potential flaws in the argumentation that I presented. It is not the case for every woman to earn less than a man, to be locked up in the kitchen and to focus on the housework. What is more, not every man feels and acts superior towards the other sex. Nevertheless, such people with open minds and resources to change the political situation and the full society background are still scarce. Thank you for listening.